Welcome to day one of the Unblock and Unlock Writers Bootcamp. Over the next 3 days, we'll tackle small but powerful steps to help you make serious progress on your first draft. Whether you're working on a brand new idea or revisiting a story that's been living rent-free in your head, this bootcamp is designed to get that idea out of your mind and onto the page. Starting is often the hardest part, but once you build momentum, you will be unstoppable. And that's exactly what we're here to do. So here's the roadmap. Today, we'll unlock your why. Why this story, why you, and why now. This clarity will become your guide and your motivation when things get tough. Tomorrow, we'll create a plan to turn writing into a habit so you can keep that momentum going long after bootcamp ends. And on day 3, we'll break your big idea into actionable steps to make that process feel manageable and obtainable. By the end of these 3 days, you'll have written your first pages and built a clear path to carry you all the way through to the end. Maybe this is your first script and you're unsure where to start. Maybe you've written before, but this story feels especially daunting because it's so close to your heart. Or maybe you're returning to writing after a long break and you just need a push to get going. No matter where you're starting from, you are in the right place. By the time we're done, you'll have the tools and the confidence to slay that script. So if you're ready to make it happen, let's dive in. Today, we'll be uncovering your why. Why the story, why you, and why right now. You'll use this as a guide and encouragement to continue forward even when things feel hard. Before you write a single word, let me ask you something. Why are you writing this script? Don't roll your eyes. I promise this is important. Before I wrote my first feature in 2020, I was writing sketches at Second City. But as the world shut down and life became more insular, I needed a way to express myself beyond the stage. As someone who grew up in a small town of 1,200 people, experiencing a pandemic and political upheaval in a city like Chicago was a lot to process. So I aimed to write a screenplay that voiced my POV, my unique experiences, and the lessons I learned that could connect with other people who might be feeling the same. But switching from writing short-form comedy sketches to full-length features seemed like a daunting task. To stop that overwhelm, I sat down and made a plan. The first step was finding my undeniable reason to keep moving forward. There were days when I was struggling emotionally and physically, but during those days, I revisited my why. It reminded me of why I needed to finish and why I was willing to push forward until finally, 3 months later, I finished my first feature screenplay. And it was in that moment that I knew I loved writing movies more than I ever loved writing sketches. And that one feature already completed, I had the potential to write 100 more scripts. And here's the truth. So do you. You only need to do the impossible once to never doubt yourself again. And here's the thing. Every great story starts with a purpose. Think about your favorite films. They weren't just written to fill pages. They were born out of a deep desire to say something, to make people feel something. Your why is the foundation that will carry you through the ups and downs of writing. Without it, even the best ideas can lose their spark. I may not know you personally, but I know one thing for sure. Your story matters. It's worth telling. You have a unique perspective that only you can share. And the only way to tell it is to put pen to paper and start writing. By showing up here today, you've already taken a huge step. The next step is how you build momentum and create a habit to push through. Now let's focus on crafting your why. Because there will be days when writing feels impossible, when writer's block hits, or your life gets in the way. And your why will remind you why you started and help you keep going until you reach the finish line. Open your Unblock and Unlock Workbook and start with these 3 prompts. Why do I need to write this script right now? Who do I want the story to connect with? And 3, what excites me most about bringing this idea to life? Write your answers down honestly and without judgment. This isn't about perfection or impressing anyone. It's about finding clarity and giving yourself permission to move forward with confidence. So go ahead and pause this video, take the time you need to answer. I will be here when you're ready to continue. Fantastic. You are one step closer to creating an unshakable reason to keep moving forward no matter what challenges come your way. And in the process, you're shaping the heart of your story. So let's keep it going. Writing a story doesn't usually happen from the beginning to end. In fact, it rarely does. When I was working on my most recent short, it all started with a key scene. I knew my protagonist would be in a certain place facing a specific situation, but I didn't know yet how she got there or how she'd get out. And that's okay. Taking action, even when you don't have the full story, is how new ideas and inspiration start to flow. As you spend more time with your characters, you'll discover how they think, what actions they take, and how they interact with the world. So here's your task. Think about the scene from your script that you are most excited to write. Maybe it's the introduction of your protagonist, a high-stakes climax, or the big finale. Pick that one scene and write it today, right now. It's gonna be messy, and that's perfectly fine. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. You're not going to screw this up, and if you end up hating it, you can always change it or throw it away. But you can't edit a blank page. So for today's exercise, open up a new document or grab a pen and paper and write that one scene that excites you most. Let me know how it goes. Send me an email or share in our group, and I can't wait to see what you come up with. Tomorrow, we'll create a personalized plan to turn writing into a habit and a core part of your life. You've got this. So happy writing, and I'll see you back here tomorrow.